My name is Dahi. I am from Inglewood, California, and I make music. I worked with Kendrick Lamar, Drake, Big Sean, Jay-Z, Pusha T, Madonna, 21 Savage, Vampire Weekend, Snow Allegra, Khalid, Post Malone, and a whole bunch of other people. When I'm opening a new plugin or any piece of software or hardware, I basically just try to throw paint on the wall and just see what it can do. You know, if it was a car, if the speed limit says 160, I'm gonna push it to 160. I gotta know what it does and see what it can't do or what I limit it to or what feels special about it. My early productions, I was using the finger from a Reactor. Like in the record Worst Behavior I did for Drake, that record is literally just feels like it's just constantly moving. It doesn't feel linear, it just kind of feels like it's just flipping, moves backwards, chops, but it still kind of progresses in a really cool way. Man, Kendrick came from a manifestation. I remember I went to Coachella and I saw him perform with Dr. Dre. I prayed to God, I was like, yo, I gotta work with you. Somehow, I gotta make something. The beat I made for Money Trees, which is the record we did for Good Kid, Mad City, I made that week after I saw him perform. I don't know who got the beat to him, but I literally got a call maybe a couple of days after that I sent it. He was like, oh yeah, Kendrick, you did something to the beat. We want you to come by the studio. Just another mark of me making something happen or seeing my dreams and wanting to be a producer really come true. So today I'm going to be making a sketch with the KOMPLETE NOW bundle and also going to be using other native sample library stuff that I love to use while I'm making beats.
Usually I'll start writing just the melody progression on a piano, and NOIRE is a piano program I've been using. It sounds like a live piano in the room, which I'm always love. I love recording live piano, so this is one of the closest programs that I've heard that kind of can replicate that feeling and sound. So. Yeah, so that's the progression that I just played and that I really liked, and now I'm gonna see how I can make it sound cool with some interesting textures and sounds. So I'm gonna start with Cloud Supply, just because I feel like a lot of the sounds in that VST is really kind of floaty. I want to do some kind of dark, but also too somewhat pretty, really dark, pretty melody ideas that I feel like it'll kind of create a world. What I like about this VST is there's two sounds, so you can kind of change the two samples and kind of it creates a different instrument. So it's trying to find the balance of both, where if I want more wider pad sound with the more kind of percussive instrument sound, kind of find that balance in between. That's what I was really trying to figure out.
Flatten that a little bit, yeah. I'm gonna chop the sample a little bit and pitch different parts of it an octave down to see if I get a certain type of rhythm, which would be kind of cool. I'm gonna do some guitar sounds right quick, just because I like to add that. I'm gonna use the STRUMMED ACOUSTIC 2. This is a contact library. I like to use this because rhythmically it plays a different progression that I would play, almost like I'm playing a guitar, which is really, really cool. From country, blues, campfire style, folk sounding progressions. So sometimes what I like to do is like I'll do one guitar rhythm, and then I'll literally start layering another guitar rhythm to kind of counteract. So you're getting like two. So it sounds like one guitar, but you can get like another pattern on top of that guitar. So it gives it a different. You're almost getting two rhythms at once, which is kind of cool sometimes. I'm using Picked Acoustic on Contact.
So I want to use the RAUM plugin to see the different types of like reverb and delay sounds I can get on the guitar. Kind of turned the reverb down and left the kind of like a slapback sound on the guitar, which kind of gives it a cool texture. That's kind of cool. So I'm gonna automate the feedback to the last bit of that loop. So now I'm gonna check out some sounds in Lo-Fi Glow. I wanna try to find a bass sound. Sometimes you don't realize adding a little bit of distortion to the sub gives it saturation that you won't really pay attention to unless you like really dial it in, which is cool. Like a little bit of distortion, which is what helps the bass hit a little bit harder to me. On this particular patch, it has the two sounds, so it has the sub sound, but then the noise, the kind of saturation tape sound is on the B side. So you just kind of find that right balance and you can get that kind of like that crunchy sound. This bass progression I did could work, but I might change it depending on once I get these drum sounds. Okay, now I'm gonna open up Battery and I'm going to the Battery Now kits in Complete Now. It's a little bit half-time tempo, so I might speed it up just to give it a little bit of a bop to it from the drums, but I'm still trying to figure out the pocket. So I like that kick and snare rhythm. I might add like I'm gonna add one of my drum loops that I've made. I just kind of just did it. I'm gonna see if I can chop it into the beat. Add that bass. That was the bird sub sound. Just trying to replay the pattern to fit the drum pocket a little bit better, to give it more of a boom, boom, boom. It feels like a little bit of like an Afrobeat type of influence of a sound, which is cool. Sorry, I'm gonna check this mic right quick. Take this on, take Usually I'll sing a melody idea to the beat, and kind of the same process of just like figuring out the melody that goes with the chords and basically tune it to that idea, and then from there start to just add effects to the vocal to kind of give it a distinct little sound. So. So I just pulled up REPLIKA and I used the delay and feedback tool. And basically what I'm trying to do is get like a kind of a slapback dotted sound on my vocal, just as a kind of an accent to the melody that I'm putting in the record. Because I don't want it to be like in the front, but I kind of want it to be like a faint kind of sound. I just want to make sure I have enough things where it inspires like the writer or inspires the artist, but not too much where they can't see themselves on the record. So in some ways you're just creating enough space and enough context for them to kind of imagine themselves on the beat or see themselves in the world. And now that I got that vocal line, I'm probably gonna I might play that line with another instrument to kind of add another little element to the lead line, because that feels like a chorus. Let's open up Massive X and see where we can find like a dope lead sound to go with it. Kind of cool. It gives it like a kind of a tribal sound, which is kind of cool. That one was the beat writer in Massive X. The beat writer sound with a little bit of change of like the filter and the reverb kind of gives it a cool percussive sound, which just sounds dope. I think it's like some outside kind of like noise, like we're in the rainforest type of vibe sound. It's kind of cool, like just as a texture under the beat. It'd be kind of dope. Or maybe like, yeah, like some birds. I hear like maybe like a WizKid or like a Tim's, or you know what I'm saying, like it has like a certain like Afrobeat feel to the record. It's kind of a rhythm record, which I always love in general. So sometimes I'm very surprised about why artists pick certain beats and why they pick certain beats that I make. Just because sometimes I have a vision and then what they hear is totally different. So yeah, I can kind of go with anybody, I think. So hey guys, this is the finished beat. If you guys want to mess around with it, remix it, these stems are available for download at metapop.com. If you guys make a really cool beat with these stems, you might win some cool prizes from NI. So hope you guys have fun today. Thank you for your time. Peace.